Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm Daniel. I'm from APPL. We are a printing company. We are printing books, like you may know Weber's Grillbibel. Some of you might know Jamie Oliver. We are printing stuff like that, and we are printing the commercial leaflets that you have on Saturdays in your newspaper. You throw it away, or you look at it. So this is our approach, and what we are facing a market that is declining since 10-15 years. So there's not much printing anymore. So for us is digitalization and Gen AI a crucial thing to survive. So we are looking at Gen AI and all the stuff not like a playground. For us, it's crucial that we can survive, and this is why we decided really early on. So this is why we decided really early on to really have a deep look into Gen AI and all the other AI stuff. So this is our agenda. We first will talk about the McKinsey study, which came out, I think, in late 2023. And then we want to present the story, how we started, how we just approach it, then how we came to the PoCs, and then building an AI platform, which we call the Support Hub. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm Luca. I'm consultant and manager at Just Experts, which is a consulting company working with Apple basically since Just Experts exists, because we're a spin-off from Apple. So first of all, we did all the M365 things together, and now we developed to an AI and data-driven consulting company. And yeah, we've basically built all this together.
Okay, it started with the McKinsey study. We just saw some pictures from other McKinsey studies. So McKinsey analyzes the opportunities of Gen AI. You might know there's 2.6 to 4.4 trillion of generating value. So we looked at it, and these are the four things you have to keep in mind. It's a strategic positioning, it's the technology integration, upskilling and risk management, and cost and effort consideration. And we ask ourselves, what are we? Can we survive if we only take the stuff that's out in the market and just play around with it, or do we have to adopt and make the platform? So we ask ourselves, are we a taker, are we a shaper, or are we a maker? So the maker are the ones who are building foundation models. We are definitely not a maker. So and we were a taker. So we took all the stuff when it came out and played around with it, and then we discovered, okay, we need to really get the business value. We need to become a shaper to really shape the models, to shape AI for our company. So when ChatGPT came out, I think I was on the second day. I had my account, and then I said to Luca, Luca, we need a ChatGPT for Apple. We need to really employ it. And since we are dealing with Microsoft 365 since the last 4 years, so we digitalized the whole company with that, I said, okay, do you have a choice?
Yeah, we should build a Power App. And then, yeah, basically Just Experts was hired to build a Power App to connect the ChatGPT API for privacy reasons, and also not to pay licenses for everyone in the whole organization. Yeah, and we actually got it up and running quite fast.
I think it was in March last year. So we were pretty fast. We had it up and running. We used ChatGPT on Azure to build it, and because we saw the huge potential. And what we did is we we were monitoring how people are using the Power App solution. So we could identify use cases while people are using Gen AI. So what we are doing on an anonymous basis, we are tracking all the prompts that are out there to learn from that, to really see how people are facing that. And then we discovered, I think it was last summer, yeah, I think in August, we said, okay, the usage is winding down. You know, everybody was really fired up and got into it, but in the summer it went halt even down. And we discovered that the performance of the app was too slow. So I don't know if you worked with Power Apps. Anybody of you worked with Power Apps? So it's not really cool. You know, it's nice, no, but it's working. You know, it's doing the job, but it's not really like people were not fired up. So we had a limited scalability because what we did is we put more and more stuff in there, and then we discovered that it's just not really good working. So I said, we need something different.
Yeah, and then what we really noticed is that flexibility, customizability, scalability, and all these aspects we know from general software development are very relevant. But the most deciding point in user satisfaction for AI applications from our side is speed. People don't want to wait. They expect Google results, I think 1.2 million within 20 milliseconds. They want the same for the AI models. And basically, all tools on the market are slower than the actual APIs are. And sometimes they don't support streaming and all these aspects. So we decided, okay, what we need is something that is really, really fast. Does
anybody know the churn rate on websites? The churn rate when you have a delay of 200 milliseconds? Does anybody know? 30%. So when you have more than 200 milliseconds, you have a churn rate of 30%. So what we said, we need a tool that really hooks the people. You know, then this was actually our approach.
Yeah. And additionally, I was like, okay, guys, let's slow down a bit, because we developed something with like tens of days of work before, and we basically throw it all to the trash. And actually, I said, no, we cannot do this again. So let's take one step back and decide how an AI operating platform would look like. And that was our first idea, to think about what will be future-proof for Apple in the future. And yeah, that's what we did. We took 2 steps back and thought, what's the next hype? Will OpenAI be the best provider in the future? Will other LLMs come up? Will LLMs move to on-premises systems? Will there be third-party APIs which have to be connected? Will web search be integrated directly in the LLM, or will web search be a standalone tool? Who is the innovator in the market? And all these questions were not fully answered 1 year ago. So we said, okay, we have to be super flexible and we have to integrate things very fast when we start this platform.
So I said there are endless solutions, and I'm waking up every morning and want to try out new things. So I'm getting on Luca's nerves and say, hey, no, let's do that all. I want an AIG solution. I want to connect it to my SharePoint. I want to do basically everything. And and this is what we said. Okay, when I all want to do this, I have to buy like 10, 15, 20 tools on the market, try them out. And as I said, we are not don't have the money capability to support all that, because I cannot spend the money for every employee for like 150, 200 euros a month. So we said, okay, we need to do something different.
Yeah, and what we did then was to find a way how to bring all this proof of concepts we had in the company to a productive system. And yeah, that's how our journey started to build our support hub. And the goal was to build a modern application platform which is capable in being one point of contact for the end customer, so for the employee, to use all different AI or Gen AI tools in the company and we focused on standardization because we have known that Apple will not be the only company which needs it, and most probably Apple does not want to finance further development alone. So we standardized everything, we developed everything really flexible and with a super, super fast infrastructure. Yeah.
I wanted to have functionality. I want to have translation. I want to have to use different LLMs to try them out, to see what it's best. Is it Llama 3? Is it Llama 2 or Mixtral? I wanted to talk to my data. I want a chatbot so that I can talk to my finance data, because we have really structured. We have structured data is already in a really good structured data warehouse. I want to have web search, and I want to have a conversation, because, as I said, as a printing company, we have to go to new markets. So for us, we are now. I only have people who can speak German or English, so I can only sell my books to German or to English companies, which is a problem for me. But I can sell the books basically as a product in whole Europe. But I need somebody who speaks Portuguese, who speaks Spanish, who speaks all that, and can sell the book. So what I said is, we need this tool just to play around with it, and just that we can train it with people and then attack new markets. So this is why I wanted to have all the functionalities.
Yeah, and what he maybe doesn't want, but he got, was a good infrastructure in the back end to have all this flexibility in the future. So not just build standalone systems, but unify everything in one simple, scalable infrastructure, which enables all this for our customers. So people or companies don't need a front end like ChatGPT. They also don't need Copilot licenses. What they really need is a development platform which unifies all the different aspects of the general architecture required to run your AI system. And this development environment, which enables customers or companies to really build their own applications, is what we develop behind the support hub. It's not visual for the end user, but that's what is the real USP of the thing. And additionally, we have a single point of contact for the user. They will not notice if we change our web search algorithms to integrate better web scraping. Users will not notice, and most users will not think about this, at least not within the next 2 years. So that's why they have one single point of contact, and we can even connect to all the connection points they have right now. So we can put data to your ERP system, to your IT ticketing system, to automatically resolve most of the IT problems, all with the same underlying infrastructure. And this is the real game changer, because this simplifies and unifies all AI operations in the company. Additionally, we have a data platform with most of our customers, because they're facing all the same problem. We only have SAP. It's always a lie. They have SAP and 10 other systems. And we have all this data connected in our data lakehouse at the moment. But what they don't have is an approach to connect this data to the AI operating system or to the AI applications. So we also have a unified data connection point, which enables every developer on the customer side, as well as our developers, to use this unified data connection point and to make something which is a real Apple GPT and not just ChatGPT. And additionally, all this infrastructure must be compliant, secure, and scalable. So for Apple, actually at the moment, the maximum number of users is, let's say, 600. And most probably they are not growing too much within the next years. But we hope. We have other customers which are currently talking about 10,000 employees in field service who want to chat with the same solution all over it and to access the company enterprise intelligence. And therefore, our system must be scalable. Yeah, and that's what we did. So we basically built a developer alliance. Just Experts as the speedboat and consulting company, Apple as our first and always best customer, who's always the first one doing a step to new technologies, and more of our customers. And in this alliance, we gained a lot of benefit because we got real business cases from day one on. I mean, we had the ChatGPT API only in the US, which was not perfect, but okay-ish. And we had it connected to the first Power App, which used tickets in the production side. So we had like tickets from the Instandhaltung, where they put all the incidents they had with the machinery, and we had the LLM connected to analyze all this. And we were super fast with like real market problems and not just something built on a white sheet. And therefore we had a really good market fit from first day on. And APPL also got a good ecosystem with other clients who are in other industries, but have comparable problems actually. So yeah, we pretty much accelerated innovation through this alliance, and yeah, this is what we are currently still working on. So let's get some technical details of the solution. So first of all, we collected the requirements for this. This is, of course, basic software development. And if you get a good solution architect or someone, he will most probably, or she will most probably put some of these aspects in as well. But this is what we really focus on when we talk about AI applications. And one thing we mentioned is all the secure and evergreen thing. When you talk about AI, you cannot start with something that is not evergreen, because AI will evolve so fast, and whenever there's new versions of the API, you want to introduce them in your company. So you have to have evergreen infrastructure. And therefore, this is only possible if you have scalable and cloud-native operations. So, of course, we did everything cloud-native. And we have to be flexible, because actually, I only know what will be the requirement for next week when Daniel wakes up on Sunday. That's the first time in a week when I know what is the requirement for the next week, so it must be super flexible. And of course, we have like a zoo of different solutions. So I, as an architect, need one API management, which has all the API contracts of the whole enterprise unified, that a small company, comparably small company, still has the overview of what of all these AI applications is happening in the organization. But this, of course, must not break the innovation speed inside the organization. So therefore, we decided for a design which follows all the modern software architecture thingies, but is really focused on microservice design, on modular design. We have API only. And all these guidelines are known to every developer on the customer side and in our internal team. And therefore, they really build well-designed software from day one on. And that's the most important thing. And this also accounts for operating model and for infrastructure design. We have everything as infrastructure as code, and all these paradigms really put on the table from the first day on. And this is what is our competitive advantage at the moment with this platform. And also what we tried to do is to integrate features as soon as possible.
Because when we said, okay, we want to call different customers or new customers, we had to integrate the text-to-speech and speech-to-text service. We integrated the dialogue feature, so the AI can really talk to new customers. We are not there yet, but we will achieve that goal in the next 2 to 3 months. And then because we are trying it right now in Germany, just to get some field experience. We integrated RAG cases. We retrained models whenever it was useful. We hooked up the whole thing to the production workers. So the production workers, when they have when they have a ticket, they can answer their thing out of the production. We integrated the web search, and now we are working. And this is why we are not ready with prompt agents and multi-agent concept to really reach out to other markets.
Yeah.
And to say to the multi-agents, it's really interesting. It's really interesting concept, and but you need to control this concept. You need humans to train these agents and the different steps. So you have to really analyze what you're doing to get this thing running, because everybody's talking about it, but actually I think nobody besides software development did it in the real business case.
Yeah. So what we did, and it's not rocket science, it's just well designed, is to really build a platform which brings each prompt through the user interface, probably the web app, but also other interfaces like Teams or your ERP system, whatever is the most beneficial in the moment, through the same request management, central API management, central persistence layer to get a history of everything, and then connect every service you can imagine, basically, with a very, very high speed. So, of course, we have the ChatGPT on OpenAI, the OpenAI on Azure ChatGPT, which is like the most simple solution, basically everyone mentioned before, but we also have different integrations. Some of them only in the development area because they're maybe not GDPR compliant or something like this, but some of them also integrated into production. And we also connect the existing business cases or use cases from our customers. Like, for example, we have one customer which has an own, like, we don't know exactly what's behind it, but a process agent, they call it, and we can just connect it. And no one would ever notice that there is another infrastructure in the back end. We can just have a unified infrastructure. And the most exciting thing is that you put the different, you separate the different layers in a good way. Because what we know from general software development is we have a consumer layer, we have an integration layer, and we have a compute layer. And we separate integration from compute, of course. We put all the microservices to the compute. And what's new now is that we also have a LLM layer, where we probably have to host own LLMs, or we have to connect LLMs that are currently existing. And additionally, what we have besides the integration layer is a general storage layer, where we have all the persistency. Should it be chat history or other data, vector databases for RAG cases, or even blob or unstructured data for the multi-agent system environment, but all the storage layer. Then we have the multi-agent thing, which is in a completely standalone service because they need to do a bit difficult things like code execution in their own runtime and all these things. And then we have the company data layer, which is basically a multi-RAG case. And all this is unified and built in microservices with a strict separation of these layers. Maybe for the ones who are not too deep into software development, we will make it a bit simple. What is happening, super simplified, when you ask a question. Analyze the biggest trends impacting Firmengruppe APPL in 2025 and prepare an approach for our next meeting. So you send a prompt. It will get through the integration layer, and this is always our unified API, and sends it to with the correct parameters to the underlying compute layer. So in that case, it's a quite simple prompt. Most probably it has web search turned on, so we also give the information web search with it. And the compute layer will do one or many steps to generate an answer, and the answer will be retrieved from the OpenAI API on Azure, or maybe from some other API, will be processed again and streamed to the front end. And this, of course, without any time delay. So in our theory, we will just show you quite briefly how it works. And actually what we have here is a prepared prompt.
As I said, we are looking at new markets. We are producing for Klett and Cornelsen school books here in Germany. And the Swedish market is quite interesting because the Swedish government, they discovered that because they had everything digital and there were really less books, really less school books. And then at the beginning of the year, they said, okay, we need more books. And they made like additional budget of 60 million to produce school books. and this is what I said. Okay, now I need to analyze the market and see how I can find the Produktionsledning or Inköpschef from the Swedish book producing companies and book publishers. So and this is how we can deduct it. And I think it's really amazing. We can a little bit. We can change the books. You see, and we hooked it up with LinkedIn profiles, because what you find on the market right now is that all these applications are faced to consumers, and they're not made for companies. Because I'm not interested in any profiles. I'm interested in LinkedIn profiles. I want to have new customers. I want to interact with customers. So what we did in the back, we optimized the web search so that it fits my needs as a company, not as an end consumer to have something like that. And it's pretty slow. 4.0.
But the problem is that Daniel is always using our dev environment, so most probably it's broken right now. But he will never learn to use the production. So.
But I think the model is slower. But we can switch models. We can. I think we. Bist du auf Dev oder was?
Ja.
Ah, du hast das Dings nicht an, ne?
Beta-Modus.
Beta-Modus.
This is for the not GDPR compliant things.
Mixtral. I don't know if you heard of Krog.
Have you heard of Krog? Yeah.
So this was really amazing when it came out. I think it's the Mixtral hosted on Krog is, I think, this really the fastest right now. So it has an output of 600 of over 600 tokens per second. It's really amazing. I mean, and this is cool, you know. We like to play around. I like to play around with it.
Can we switch back to the presentation, please?
Okay, you're off.
So, what we did is to build a really simple infrastructure. Of course, we have all the separation, we have the microservices and everything is well designed, but what we build is the simplest infrastructure you can imagine for a web app, and actually the most cloud-native infrastructure. At the moment, we are discussing if we need containers for multi-agents. I think not, but our developers say, yeah, they need it, but I always say 3 times no before they get something, and typically then they don't need it anymore. So we have it super simplified, and actually we are able to onboard new developers, either on the customer side or on our side, within 1.5 working days, and then they're completely head up in the infrastructure and can work on it. So this is a super simplified cloud-native infrastructure, fully integrated into the Microsoft Azure cloud. Yes, we decided to do that. And additionally, we use like all the modern things you need. We have, of course, all the libraries, LangChain, and whatever you need, integrated and accessible. And we also did a good documentation, which is also painful because you have to force people to do it, but it's worth it, that you can really use this in a collaborative way. And therefore, our support hub is also the real starting point of AI development for our customers. So you don't get a front end, you see a front end, but you get a good architecture, a simplified architecture, which will make each POC in your company more sustainable and which will reduce the risk of any issues when bringing a POC to production. And this is also the thing we see for our customers. If they have POCs, bringing them to production always costs more money than producing the POCs. And this will not happen here because you got a framework, you get guidelines where you can work on. Yeah, so your further software development will meet criteria or requirements and targets for everything. So where we are right now. What happens every Sunday, by the way?
Well, not every. No, and I always have really good ideas what we can play around with and just integrated it. I just wake up in the morning. So when GPT-4 came out.
Yeah, I think it was 13th of May, US morning, so German midday, and at the next morning 9 a.m. we got the API key for it, and I think at 11 it was up and running in our production environment and into customer production environment. And this is what. Thanks.
This is fast.
This is the speed. This is the speed we need in that. Of course, all of you guys know that connecting 4.0 is not a technical problem. Still, when you get it, when we had to do it before, it took us at least 1 day. And it even gets more impressive when we talk about features which, for example, connect completely new APIs or which even need adjustments in the front end. So what was also quite spontaneous requirement is that everything that was only text before should be someone speaking and recording it, and the other way around, so text to speech, speech to text, be integrated into the front end and like in all processes basically, and also in a conversational mode. So when you speak and you stop, it notices it, and then the AI starts to speak, and when you change language, also the AI changes language, or you can set that it should always answer in English or whatever you want. So it's still a bit fuzzy maybe from the feature perspective, but we were able to integrate this within like 1 week into the complete front end, back end, extend the API, connect all the services, because it was just the business logic that had to be written by our developers and not like infrastructure considerations. And therefore we gained a lot of speed in our whole product development and AI development.
Plus I got one of the most important features. I don't know if you guys listening to podcasts in 1.5 or 2 to save time. Who does? Yeah. So and all the normal stuff you could not speed up. So I got my speed up feature. now I can listen to the support hub in 1.5. That's really good.
So I don't know what your business case is. If you need new features and if you have to integrate features in your organization, or if you need a development environment for your own developers, and you just need an approach to unify all the PoCs, infrastructure, architecture, it doesn't matter. I think, and I really believe it, because I'm like really convinced from what we did here, is either way, the support hub is your solution. And I think what we are doing is to really build a partnership. So we don't want to sell something. We just want partners who put money in on the table to collaborate together and further development this idea. Yeah.
Because the thing is, like these front ends, the text-to-speech, speed-to-text features, or the multi-agents, they are for every company. They are the same. So if it's smarter to collaborate for these features and then only hook up your data to the system and use for your field service use this. So it is smarter to work together on the front end and the architecture and just have your own data in the back end.
So we are some companies right now doing it all together, and yeah, we hope that we find someone who wants to join. And also, if you want to just try it, we have a QR code here. You can submit a request, and if your company is on the list for this conference here, someone in the office will approve it directly, and you can just try it out. And yeah, we hope to get some interesting discussion. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks.